What's up, guys? Duster McDangles back here with another video, and welcome back to the NHL season preview series. As today we will start our last division of this video series with the Metropolitan Division, and in today's episode we're going to be taking a look at the Philadelphia Flyers. We're going to see how they finished up last year, the players that have left, the players that they've brought in. We'll look at team stats, we'll look at projected lineups, we'll also go ahead and look at their contract situation moving forward, as well as give my prediction on what I think the Flyers will do this upcoming season. But on the screen right now, guys, are some stats. The majority of you guys who watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel, so do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you guys like anything hockey and this entire series so far. We've done every other division. If you guys have missed those videos, go ahead and check out the playlist. I will drop that in the comments below so you guys can go ahead and check up on all the videos so you're caught up and ready to go for this upcoming NHL season. But without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the Philadelphia Flyers. Having had one of their worst seasons in recent history, it was tough for Flyers fans and players last year as they finished only with 61 points and a record of 25, 46, and 11. Their team stats were not the best either. Goals for were 31st in the league. Goals against 27th. Their power play was 12.6% with a penalty kill of 75.7%. So with team stats like that, you can expect to be at the bottom of the league any year when you're playing bad hockey such as that. Looking at team stats, really, when you think about it, they only had a couple of bright spots, if you want to really call it that. Travis Konechny actually had a pretty solid year for his standard of play. 52 points in 79 games played. Cam Atkinson only had 50 points in 73 games played. And then JVR, James Van Riemsdyk, only had 34 points in 63 games played. And with his contract, he's got to be at least getting 50 points. Now, again, it was a tough year for the Flyers. Had to deal with a lot of injuries, just a lot of blank spots on the team, trades, sending players out of the squad, trying to get a refresh. But man, it was not a great year for the Flyers last year. But taking a look at the players that have left the squad, only a few. Oscar Lindblom has left the squad, as well as Martin Jones between the pipes, and I would say their biggest loss this year, at least players leaving the squad, he actually retired, was Keith Yandel, calling it a career in the NHL. I know on Chicklets the other day he did announce that, but tough loss for the Flyers. Solid player, but it was just his time to leave the NHL. They only have a few new faces. Nick Deslauriers's get a little grit in there, as well as Tony DeAngelo on the back end, which there's some interesting news coming up, but we'll talk about that when we look at their projected lines on the back end for this upcoming season, which could be a big hurt for them. But when it comes to their projected lines on the screen right now, you guys can see not too bad when it comes to their top 6 forward lines. Now, again, it's going to depend on if they can actually perform well. Farabee, Hayes, and Atkinson projected on that first line. Van Riemsdyk, Frost, and Konechny. A little youth there with Konechny and Frost. Obviously, JVR, now a grizzled veteran. After that, it starts to tail off a little bit. Cates, Lawton, and Tippett. Obviously, Tippett they brought in from the Florida Panthers, but he really hasn't had a full season under his belt with the Flyers, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do with a full season. And then right now on their fourth line, it just other than Deslauriers, McElwain, and Lisinski, really not anything too crazy there. Now on the back end, they do show Provorov, DeAngelo, Sanheim, Ristolainen, York, and Braun. I'll be interested to see how Cam York plays this year, and DeAngelo fitting in to a Flyers uniform. And then between the pipes, you've got Carter Hart and Sandstrom, so it'll be interesting to see that tandem. Carter Hart going to need to have a more solid of a year this upcoming season, so it'll be interesting there. Now, when it comes to the back end, as we now take a look at their contracts, you can actually see, you might be asking yourself, where's Ryan Ellis? Apparently he's going to be out for quite a while, and who knows, they think it might be his potential career. He is 31 years old, and that is just a shot to the heart for Island, for Flyers fans out there, as he is one of your big pieces on the back end, and they're still waiting on Sean Couturier to come back to the lineup as well, so it'll be interesting to see when he actually comes back. I haven't heard too much news or updates with him on that specifically, but they're going to need him down the middle, considering the fact that you have Kevin Hayes projected as your top centerman, and then behind him you've got Frost and Lawton. I mean, Lawton, a very solid player. Morgan Frost, The jury is still out on him being young, so we'll have to see if he can fill those shoes on the second line, but they need Couturier back. He is a leader in that room. I mean, he is an assistant captain. He is the potential next captain of the squad, I would think, over Kevin Hayes since he's been there longer. But when it comes to deals they need to get done, JVR is on the last year of his deal. Coming up this year, depending on if the Flyers are doing well or not, he might be a piece that they move near the trade deadline, I would think, if they are having a lesser year like they did last year. On the back end, at least back tail end of the forwards, you've got a couple restricted deals. Morgan Frost, I would say they're going to need to get a deal done with him. I would think more of a bridge deal, a 2-for-2 or 3-for-3 when it comes to his next deal. You got Noah Cates, Zach McEwen, and then unrestricted Patrick Brown, again, more of a depth type forward. On the back end, I would say Travis Sanheim is somebody you're going to need to really get something done with him. And then Cam York, depending on how he plays, you'll have to work out a deal with him. But the Flyers don't have any cap space. It's going to be interesting to see how they can work some things around. But at this point, again, the back end, they're not too deep. You got a couple nice pieces. D'Angelo on a nice deal, 2-for-5. But Cam York, you're really going to need to get a deal done. Justin Braun, he's a little bit older. Who knows? Maybe they bring him back on another $1 million, 1 year type of deal, depending on how he plays. But I'd say Sanheim, Cam York on the back end, and their goaltenders are shored up for at least the next 2 seasons. We will be talking about Carter Hart next year at the start. But my prediction for the Flyers for this upcoming season, I totally expect them to be around about where they were last year, down near the bottom of the conference. They could be around the same point mark, that 60 to 70 point range, if they can stay healthy and maybe get some players back, such as Couturier. I think that'll help their odds getting up around that 70 point range, but I honestly don't think it's going to happen. Don't think they're going to be worst in the division this year, but they honestly could end up being that team. I'd say between them and the Devils, it's going to be a little bit of a battle when it comes to who's going to be worst in the division. So who knows? They're going to need some players to step up big time, such as Morgan Frost, Kevin Hayes early, especially down the middle, being the center. You're kind of the leader of your forward lines. Atkinson and Farabee are going to also have to step up. How are they going to do against top lines out there in the NHL? Again, who knows at this point? Konechny is going to have another big year if the Flyers expect to move up the rankings in the NHL this upcoming season. Can JVR put it together to earn himself another contract this upcoming season? Can Owen Tippett fit in a little bit better with the Flyers in a full year? Again, those are all big questions on the front end. Back end, can D'Angelo bring that magic he brought over from the Carolina Hurricanes? Can Provorov stay the same that he has been, solid on the back end? And really between the pipes, can Carter Hart play lights out? Can he have a Vezina type season? It'll really, I think, depend on the defense and how they play in front of him. But really, I don't expect the Flyers to be anything too special this upcoming season. But Flyers fans, let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about this upcoming season. Who are you excited to watch play some hockey? Is it going to be Frost? Is it going to be Tippett? Is it going to be Farabee? On the back end, D'Angelo coming in. Are you really excited about Carter Hart and what he could potentially bring here to the table with a potential healthy team? When do you think Couturier is going to be back in the lineup? Let me know down below in the comments. I want to hear from you guys on what you think the Flyers are going to do. But if you've made it to this point in the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future action. But that's going to be it for today's episode. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to drop a like on this video. I hope you guys have a good one. And as always, stay dusty.